What's going on, everybody? Sean Pierce Johnson here with the long-awaited and long-overdue look at my Chapman guitars ML-7T. And if you haven't seen the unboxing video of that, do so right now, but if you'd like to get it straight from the horse's mouth, here we go. I've been looking for a 7-string off and on for about the last 3 years, and every time I come across a new 7-string, there's always something I like about it, but there's always a million things about it that I don't like. Necks are too thin, the guitar itself is just way too heavy, finishes and colors look stupid, and quite frankly, I'm kind of simplistic in my guitar tastes. I don't like a whole lot of flash, and I don't like a whole lot of bells and whistles. And the Chapman ML7 has about as few things wrong with it as I can think about. So let's take a look at some of the specs right now. The guitar has a swamp ash body, which is really nice and light. The maple neck is a set-through neck, basically meaning that it feels like a neck-through design, but is more along the lines of a Gibson style where the neck is glued into the pocket of the body, but it feels really nice. And the fretboard is ebony with 24 frets. I believe the scale is 25 and a half, but it might be 26. I can't remember. It's somewhere between a Ibanez style length and a baritone style length, which helps the string tension a lot for low tunings. The neck is one of the big reasons I chose this guitar, because most 7-strings that I've found on the market have these paper thin necks that just feels like there's nothing to grab onto. I like meatier necks, I like a little bit more to grab onto, and there's definitely a lot to grab onto with this neck. Reverse headstock, which is always cool to see on a Tele style guitar, has hip shot locking tuners, a big time saver when it comes to changing strings, and a hip shot string through body bridge, which is really nice and really stable. The control layout is pretty standard, just like any other Telecaster style guitar. It's got a 3-way switch, master volume, master tone, and the tone knob is a push-pull knob to tap the 2 Chapman designed humbuckers. And these humbuckers actually sound really good. They're not as hot as some other humbuckers that I typically tend to favor, but that added clarity from the lower output really helps when you start to get into the lower pitches. So enough blabbing about the specs. We're going to check out how this thing sounds. We're just going to be going from the guitar to my orange Rockerverb 100, and the only thing in between me and the amplifier is a Boss TU2 to make sure that this baby stays in tune. So here comes the beast. Alright, let's check out clean sounds. This is going to be the bridge humbucker and full humbucker, straight up clean. Now switching to the middle position, this is typically where I like clean tones on this guitar. Sounds really nice and present but full. And now going to the neck humbucker, this one's really nice and warm for kind of strumming patterns. Now let's check out some clean tones using the coil tap. Now personally, I am not a big fan of coil tapping on humbuckers. In my school of thought, it's if you want a single coil sound, get a guitar with some single coils. They just sound better, they sound fuller. But I gotta say, these do sound pretty good with the coil tap engaged. You definitely get the single coil sounds, maybe getting them by sacrificing some volume, which, you know, depending upon the situation, could be a good thing or a bad thing. And that's the position that I typically like to use the coil tap in, is in the middle position. Mostly because it feels kinda funky. Other positions, they sound pretty good too, but I like them more on distorted tones. So let's check out those gainier tones right now. Now it's time to unleash the beast. This thing sounds massive, and this bridge humbucker has a lot of great cut, really nice and tight, warm sounding. Nothing is too overemphasized. Now, depending upon the amplifier, you may want to dial back the lower frequencies to make up for that low B, but this guitar really does keep everything nice and tight sounding. Moving on to the middle position. Now, I typically don't like to use the middle position with distortion. It kind of doesn't really do much for me, but if you want to go for some Jimmy Page style blues leads, it definitely gets you into that territory. It's good for that kind of stuff, but real good lead tones come from this neck humbucker. And it's really amazing how warm this neck humbucker sounds, because typically with humbuckers in the neck position on a 24 fret guitar, they lack that. For some reason, 22 fret guitars have warmer neck humbuckers. Don't ask me, it's all in the ears. But this one really sounds nice, warm, and fluid. And then turn down the tone knob just a little bit. You can get a more woolly kind of woman tone. Sounds really nice. Now, the coil tap on this with some dirt tones is really cool on the bridge humbucker, because although you get a little bit less output and a little less gain, in the studio, layering different kind of sounds for dirt tones actually provides for a more girthy sound, something that sounds a little bit bigger, rather than just layering humbucker on humbucker on humbucker on humbucker. Tap the coil on this and then just start riffing away. As you can see, it's a little less gain, but you get more of a percussive nature to the tone, providing a little bit more attack, providing a little bit more clarity, so maybe making certain parts stick out a little bit more. I like this one a lot. And the neck humbucker, you know, kind of gets you into that same nice, ratty kind of lead territory. Well, I hope you all enjoyed, finally, the look at my Chapman ML-7T. I want to say a big thanks to Andertons for the amazing customer service. I had no idea I was going to be receiving this guitar in 4 days from the time that I ordered it, and I couldn't be happier with it. There's tons of other 7-strings out there on the market that are more expensive than this one and that are less expensive than this one. I'm really happy that I spent the money on this one. It's a lot of guitar for the money. It's a real workhorse, and I think there's only great things to come from Chapman guitars. I think this is something that you should seriously consider adding to your collection. And until next time, cheers.